It is extremely hard to find really good cornerback duos. One of the greatest duos are Jalen Ramsey and AJ Bouye back in 2017, Chris Harris and Champ Bailey back in 2013, and even now we have Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed with New York Jets. But the thing is, though, there are so many underrated duos that we tend to forget about throughout history. Maybe because these teams that win Super Bowls had really piss poor teams didn't make the playoffs, or they're a bunch of no-namers. And today, we're going to dive into 4 very underrated cornerback duos in the last recent years. One of the first duos we got to talk about is back in 2013 with the New England Patriots when they had Logan Ryan and Aqib Talib. Now, Aqib Talib at the time, he was considered one of the top corners, but Logan Ryan, he was still considered a nobody still. Now the thing is, though, back in 2013, you had the Legion of Boom taking the league by storm, and you also had Chris Harris and Champ Bailey back in Denver. And the thing is, I think people forget about this dynamic duo of Logan Ryan and Aqib Talib. Now, right here, Aqib Talib had 71 targets, 38 receptions. That's 53.5% of balls being caught. He gave up 3 touchdowns, but he had 4 interceptions, and he had a 72.3 rating. Now, again, Aqib Talib, he's always been that guy, right? But Logan Ryan, I think even now in his current state of his career, like, he's very underrated and he's very forgotten about. As you can see, 53 targets allowed, 27 catches allowed. He had a 50% rating, or percentage. He only gave up 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. They had a 53.3 QBR, man. And again, that is just super good, and I think people just forget about him because at the time, the Patriots, I think they made the AFC Championship game and they lost to the Broncos, and because they didn't make it, this duo, it gets swept under the rug, and the fact that you had the Legion of Boom at the time. Now, this next duo was extremely hard to find footage and pictures of them because they were basically nobodies, and that is Josh Wilson and Chris Carr. Now, they played for the Baltimore Ravens back in 2010, and as you can see, Josh Wilson had 64 targets. He had 30 receptions allowed, which is a 46.9 percentage, 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, but he had a 67.8 QBR, which is pretty good if you ask me. And with Chris Carr, he had 90 targets, 54 receptions allowed, which is a 60%, and then he had 1 touchdown allowed, which is pretty good on 90 targets, but he had 2 touchdowns, and he had a little bit of higher rating, like 0.5, that's what it looks like, a 68.3 QBR. I mean, you gotta understand, though, the Ravens at the time, when they had Ray Lewis, they had Sizzle, they had Ed Reed, all in their primes. Now, yes, Ed Reed was a big part of that secondary still, but still, the cornerbacks have to hold their own in man coverage and single coverage, or if Ed Reed is just not, not being looked at on that side of the play. Now, 90 targets, that is a lot of targets. You only gave up 1 touchdown. Chris Carr, that is very impressive. And these two guys, I was doing research on this, and I watched a game or two, and they, are really good. Now, staying in that, early 2010s or late 2000s, we have the 2009 Cincinnati Bengals with Leon Hall and Jonathan Joseph, man. Now, as you can see, Leon Hall, he had 97 targets, 48 receptions allowed, which is a 49.5%, 3 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. He had a 51.7 rating, too, which is really good. Jonathan Joseph, 104 targets, 60 receptions, 57.7%. 3 touchdowns allowed and 6 interceptions. Now, mind you, these dudes were top in the NFL at interceptions and did not make the Pro Bowl. Neither one of them made the Pro Bowl, man. Now, you gotta understand, back in that time, we had guys like Nnamdi Opsonwall in his prime, Asante Samuel, up in the years, but still dominating. You had Darrelle Revis, which is still understandable, and mind you, I think all 3 of them were still in the same conference, all in the AFC still, so that is a big factor, man. But still, 12 interceptions between 2 guys, had 6 apiece. Very impressive, man. This duo gets swept under the rug, especially Leon Hall. Jonathan Joseph, he had some really good years in Houston, but Leon Hall, he's easily forgotten. I forgot about him even, I did research on this video. I mean, bro, he's that guy. Now, this last duo, it is very recent. It happened in 2021 with the Green Bay Packers after they lost their number 1 corner, Jair Alexander. They relied on rookie out of Georgia, best college in the whole world. Eric Stokes, and they also have former Eagle, best team in the world, obviously the Eagles, Rasul Douglas, man. And these two, they did really well. They held their own on a really good team, man. And I'm not saying that they were on the Trevon Diggs, Jalen Ramsey, or anything like that, but they held their own. As you can see, Rasul Douglas, 63 targets, 32 receptions allowed, of 50% of passes being caught on him, 2 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. He had a 43.7 QBR, which is, bruh, that is amazing to me, right? The thing is with Rasul Douglas, he's always been underrated, overshadowed and things like that. But with Eric Stokes, 96 targets, 49 receptions allowed, 51%, 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. He had a 78.8 rating, a QBR. The thing is, I think that's pretty good, especially for a rookie. Not everybody's going to be a Sauce Gardner or Jalen Ramsey and then, just come on the league and just go crazy like that. No, I mean, that's a really good first year. Now, his second year, he did dip back a little bit, but I think that was expected. Hopefully, in his third year and above, he can, go back on that, being really good. But, yeah, man, I mean, last duo, I mean, hey. But, yeah, man, those are 4 underrated cornerback duos that have been forgotten about in the recent years. I appreciate all the love and support you guys have been watching, have been showing me, watching my videos and things like that. If you want to help the channel out, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, so we can get this content out more and more. If I forgot a duo, comment down below. I love interacting with people. I love that, and sometimes I may get a video like a part 2 saying, yeah, I forgot about this corner, and shout out to this fan or this comment right here, you know what I'm saying? But hey, man, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, man. I love y'all, man. Peace.